Southeast Georgia and the Lowcountry. This is WJCL 22 Morning News. See us now.
Right now on WJCL 22 Morning News at 6, hundreds of thousands without power this morning. Severe weather threats across the country due to winter storms. Plus,
former President Trump still facing legal troubles despite that recent acquittal during his second Senate impeachment trial.
And alarming developments in the coronavirus pandemic as doctors find even more variants of the virus spreading rapidly.
It is right now 6 o'clock. It is a Monday morning, and that is a very hazy, foggy look from our Skyview 22 camera atop the Homewood Suites on the river.
Well, thanks so much for starting your day with WJCL 22 Morning News. I'm Ashley Garrett.
And I'm Chris Tatum. We need to throw things over to Jonathan Myers right now and talk about today's weather. I hear there's a potential for some severe weather coming our way, too.
Yeah, later this evening, Chris, definitely that a severe impact for us this evening after 7 o'clock. But this morning, it's going to take some time before we get the chilly weather out of here. A good part of the day, we'll see temperatures 40s and low 50s starting the morning out for most of us, about 42 to 46. It is dry. Finally, we're seeing mainly dry weather other than some patchy drizzle as we start the morning off. All the wet weather as well to our north and east that we had yesterday. Patchy dense fog in a few spots from Vidalia to Metter, especially in the low country from Ridgeland to Beaufort, and seeing visibilities down in some spots below 1 mile. Severe impact day for us, but mainly later this evening before we see any chances for severe storms. Like I said earlier, from about 7 o'clock up to about midnight would be the best timing for this. The impacts that we could see, of course, some downpours will be possible, and also an isolated severe thunderstorm or two is not out of the question. Of course, we'll be tracking that for you as we go throughout the daytime. And also, if you're away from your TV, just download our WJCL 22 News app right to your smartphone. You'll be able to keep up with that chance for maybe some severe thunderstorms this evening. I'll detail that severe impact day for us and also talk about sunshine returning by tomorrow. All of that in less than 10 minutes.
Jonathan, thank you. This morning, a South Carolina senator says former President Donald Trump is now looking ahead to the 2022 midterms. This comes just after Trump was acquitted during his impeachment trial. WJCL's Daniel Robinson joins us live now with more. Daniel, good morning.
Ashley, good morning. Senator Lindsey Graham says that he did speak with the former president, who now says he's ready to move on and to rebuild the Republican Party. Now, this does come as both Republicans and Democrats do remain divided over that trial, which did leave the former president acquitted for a second time. Some Republicans who did vote in favor of impeaching Trump are now facing some backlash from their own party. Graham saying on Fox News that he did speak with Trump following that trial and that he's grateful for the help of his lawyers and he has no plans to leave the party.
And I said, Mr. President, this MAGA movement needs to continue. We need to unite the party. Trump plus is the way back in 2022. He's mad at some folks, but I understand that. My goal is to win in 2022 to stop the most radical agenda I've seen coming out of the Democratic presidency of Joe Biden.
Now, a legal battle still looming for the former president here in Georgia as investigators look into whether or not he committed a crime after calling Raffensperger during that infamous January call, asking him to find more votes for him. Now, Ashley, there is also now a call between Raffensperger as well as Graham that is a part of this investigation being looked at by the Fulton County DA. And what's next for Graham, Ashley? He says he's planning to head down to Florida later this week to meet with Trump and to play some golf. Ashley?
Daniel, thank you so much. We turn now to some more weather news. States from Texas to Virginia have declared emergencies this morning, and it's because of the historic ice storm and crippling cold weather. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the latest.
This morning, historic cold sweeping the country. Arctic air dropping down through the plains into Texas, turning roads into skating rinks.
Slow down. Slow down.
In El Paso, mangled big rigs littering this highway. Overnight, wind chills dipping below zero in San Antonio. Conditions so extreme in Houston, the city could see its coldest February in 122 years.
The freezing temperatures have already reached. And so it's very, very important that folks stay off the roads so that we don't cause a disaster on top of a disaster.
Power companies in Texas now considering rolling blackouts because the massive demand for electricity during this record cold threatens to overwhelm the power grid. And it's not just Texas. 240 million Americans across 40 states are on alert, with feel-like temperatures from Albuquerque at 3 degrees up to Fargo at -40. In Mississippi, which could see half an inch of ice today, at least 5 18-wheelers were involved in this fiery crash. Snow and ice is expected today from Dallas through Memphis all the way to New York City. In Connecticut, road crews trying to prepare for the upcoming storm are facing a shortage of salt after a major supplier shut down.
Sat in line for 8 hours, 9 hours, and we got one load. I mean, I can use 20 loads.
In Oregon, hundreds of thousands of customers lost power after heavy ice toppled trees. And Seattle digging out from 9 inches of snow in one day, the most in 52 years.
Most of the extreme weather is expected through tomorrow morning, but another storm system is expected to take aim at the Northeast on Thursday. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Well, now to breaking news overnight concerning new mutations of the coronavirus, raising concern that another spike in cases could be on the horizon. ABC's Mona Kosar Abdi has the details.
This morning, growing concerns about variants of the coronavirus. The New York Times reports doctors have now found 7 variants of the virus that originated in the U.S., spotlighting the urgent need for better tracking of cases and mutations.
All of these variants had the same exact mutation. Now, that could just be a coincidence, but some researchers are worried that could this mean that the virus is getting smarter and adapting?
Until now, scientists have been studying mutations discovered in other countries, like the South African strain, which is more resistant to vaccines, and the UK variant, which is more contagious and could therefore be more deadly.
The absolute risk is still low. They compare 2 groups, so it's still too early to say if it's more deadly, but it's certainly more contagious.
It comes amid a major drop in overall cases across the country. About 71,000 new infections were reported yesterday, compared to last month when the country saw more than 225,000 daily cases. As a result, more states are easing restrictions. In Minnesota, dining capacity has been increased to 50%.
We're extending hours that eating establishments and bars can be open. We're expanding some of those capacities up to 250.
In Washington state, gyms and movie theaters are now open in nearly every county. Iowa and Montana have lifted mask mandates, and New York is opening sports arenas. But the head of the CDC is warning Americans now is not the time to let our guard down.
We are nowhere out of the woods, and as you note, if we relax these mitigation strategies with increasing transmissible variants out there, we could be in a much more difficult spot.
And in the race to vaccinate, new frustrations this morning. A major vaccination site in San Francisco is the latest to close because of a lack of supply. Mona Kosar Abdi, ABC News, New York.
This morning, big news in the fight against COVID-19.
Yeah, Ashley, this is big news. A new study shows that Pfizer vaccine actually reduces the number of symptomatic infections by, get this, 90%. Israel conducted that study by monitoring more than 1 million people. It found the number of people infected who actually felt sick dropped 94%, and the overall rate, number of cases that is, where people were seriously sick dropped 92%. Well, one of New Zealand's biggest cities, Auckland, under a strict lockdown this morning. New Zealand Prime Minister put that lockdown in place yesterday after 3 people in one household tested positive for that virus. Health leaders in New Zealand especially concerned because they say all 3 of those cases are confirmed to be that UK variant virus strain. Well, that lockdown is in place for the next 3 days. Government leaders encouraging everybody to stay home. Schools also closed in that area.
We have been dealing with more transmissible viruses, versions of mutations of COVID-19. We are wanting to be very cautious. And so that's why we've taken this cautious approach of asking Aucklanders to move into level 3 for the next 72 hours, and the rest of New Zealand will be at level 2.
And U.S. health leaders this morning bracing for a possible new COVID-19 outbreak after 30,000 NASCAR fans turned out for yesterday's Daytona 500 race. That was only a third of fans who usually pack those stands. But still, that's the highest attendance at a sporting event since this pandemic started. Each fan did get a health screening before they entered the stadium. Also, they were all required to wear masks, but up close shots of that crowd show that a lot of people did not have them on, Ashley. And health leaders especially worried considering that Florida, where that race happened, has several reported UK strains of the virus already there. We're worried that it could spread more easily.
Chris, thank you so much for that report. Well, also making headlines this morning, are we wired to be biased? That's one question we'll take up in our upcoming special, the Matter of Fact Listening Tour. The Primetime Hour looks at racial bias from a number of perspectives, including a look at how images in films and TV shape our consciousness.
Stereotypes aren't just about saying, hey, isn't this funny? They are generally always about keeping the status quo in place.
So it's become part of our consciousness and our subconsciousness. We accept the ideas of blacks as lazy, Asians as untrustworthy, Latinos as shady, as shifty. This has seeped into our consciousness and informs how we view people in the everyday world and in our everyday existence.
So watch the Matter of Fact Listening Tour, the hard truth about bias, right here on WJCL 22 News tomorrow at 8 p.m.